I guess we'll kick this webinar off. And for those of you that don't know, Slingshot has native apps for Android, iOS, iPad OS. So go to the App Store, download them on your device so you can always stay connected with your teams on everything from projects to discussions to analytics to chats. It's basically how we all communicate at Infragistics is through Slingshot now. So it's actually pretty cool. No matter where you're at, you are mobile. So today, again, we're with Casey McGuigan, who's the product owner for Slingshot. She's been with the product since day one. My name is Jason Barris. I am a senior VP of our developer tools at Infragistics. The agenda today, we're going to talk about SEO. We're going to spend most of our time in demo so you can get a feel for Slingshot and how you would be able to use it in your organization. We're going to look at best practices for optimizing your SEO process, and then, basically learn all of this through demo. So search engine optimization, the importance of search engine optimization. If you're on a marketing team, if you're on an executive team, or if you're anywhere involved in driving revenue for product, you know that search engine optimization is critical to the success of what you are doing in your organization. So here is the top 5 reasons to invest heavily in search engine optimization. And no matter where you're at in your journey to do this, you can always start today. So if you go to Google and you type in your brand or your product name or some key terms that you believe represent your product, and you don't show up until page 8, don't worry about it. Focus on it, and it will improve. So the key thing to recognize is that organic search will make up most of your website traffic. So get the right people when they are looking. And that means those key terms. How do I know what the key terms are? You're going to see some of that today. And then how can I track how those key terms are doing? You're going to see how you can do that inside of Slingshot. Higher rankings in SEO equal more trust and credibility. You want to be in the top couple, maybe top 3 at a minimum on the top of page 1. And when you're sitting there with your team and you're debating like where you're at or how many ads are on the screen, and then your product comes up, your customers behave the same way you do, right? So if you're looking for a new pair of shoes, or you're looking to buy a lawnmower, or whatever the heck, you're looking for technology, and you do a Google search or a search in Bing on Edge, whatever comes up in the first few is usually what you click on. It's very rare that you're going to page 2, page 3. So your goal is to get up higher in that ranking, because it does equal more trust and credibility. And always remember that your behavior and things like search engine optimization, or even how you use applications, it's very much like your customer. Now, the trick is understanding what those keywords are and what the keywords that matter are to your customers and to the success of driving traffic. You could be ranking for the wrong keywords and then not seeing those conversions. But once you start ranking for the right keywords, you should start seeing those clicks and then conversions, and then hopefully trials to sales. So understanding customers' wants and needs from all of the different analysis that you can do on these keywords. And then organic search means intent to find a solution to their problem. So when you're doing an organic search, you're just like looking around for stuff. So there is some sort of an intent behind the end goal of reaching to some sort of a product that is trying to fit that need. There's tools out there that help you zero in on what keywords are driving that intent. And we'll talk about a little bit about that today, and you'll see how that works in a dashboard that Casey's going to demonstrate. And then finally, SEO is free. So it just takes hard work and effort. Now, you may invest in some tools that are going to help you with different SEO aspects, but overall, improving keywords, improving page content, improving the amount of content you deliver that can really boost up your rankings, it's all free. It's just effort. It's hard work. So you could have the smartest folks in the room, but if you're not doing that hard work to drive your search results higher, then you won't see the success that you may think you need. And when we think about the impact of what it means to get those higher rankings, it does really drive massive numbers in ROI. So if I say that I'm number 5 versus number 1 or number 2 in search results, that could be thousands or tens of thousands of people clicking on those links. So some of the best practices when we think about something like Slingshot, you want to create a space where everyone who's involved in creating content can collaborate. And this is one of the key benefits of using Slingshot is that level of collaboration. So you can have writers, designers, product team, SEO specialists, all in projects in a workspace, and you're all collaborating on how to drive those good results. The second best practice is to analyze. And I can't say this enough. At Infragistics, we spend so much time analyzing data, understanding what's going on, experimenting to see if something can improve through scientific method, through growth hacking, and then analyzing again, and then doing it all over again. You know, you may have heard of the term the flywheel. So you're getting inside this flywheel of an iterative process to drive results. And by the way, it never ends. So when you're talking about SEO and you think that, oh, we've done it, we're number 1, I guarantee you tomorrow you won't be number 1. Someone else will be number 1 because they're working a little bit harder than you. So you always have to remember everyone's trying to be the big fish. Everyone's trying to be number 1. And so you have to work really, really hard to ensure that if you do reach that pinnacle, you're at number 1, you're at number 2, you've been analyzing it over the last 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, year over year improvement. Keep going, keep understanding to get to the right results. And then, of course, ensure your repositories are shared and accessible to everyone. And you're going to see here your file repositories, where your dashboards are, maybe where your data lives, how you can share that, and how you can make it available to your entire team through Slingshot. It's super easy. This is all done with clicks, like 1 click here, 1 click there. Very simple and beautiful to use. So with that, I am going to pass it over to Casey, who is going to walk us through a demo. So Casey, you can go ahead and share your screen and take it from here.
Ooh, okay.
And I will highlight that if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat or the Q&A box.
All right. And you can see my screen.
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to spend most of my time here, of course, in this SEO management project that you see over here on the left-hand side, because that is why we're all here, right? SEO. So Slingshot has what we call workspaces and projects. So your top level organization on the left-hand side, which you see marketing and product development. These would be my workspaces. And then within your different workspaces, you have projects going on. So in marketing, you're doing things like PPC, social media, website rebrand, which is maybe a specific project. And then, of course, SEO management. So within marketing, and this is a demo site, so typically you might have more than just these 5 people on the marketing team. But you're able to see that here's the 5 people that are on this workspace and are working on the projects underneath of this workspace. However, for things like SEO management, as Jason mentioned, you need to work with not only people on the marketing team, such as your SEO specialist, your content writer and designers, but you also need input from maybe product team, product development, or maybe you're working with an external SEO specialist or whatever it might be. So you can see that this project here has a few other people added onto it that are outside of the workspace. So it makes it really easy to collaborate with external members without having to invite them to everything that you're working on. So when you come into a project in Slingshot, you have up here these different tabs to navigate to the different aspects. So we have overviews where you can see any of the core content that is pinned for this particular project. So for an SEO project, we want to make sure that we keep our OKRs top of mind. that we always have our product messaging here for people to refer to when we're writing about our products, and maybe writing guidelines for when you're writing a blog. You can really pin anything that's really important to your process here at the overview. Any of your mentions that you've missed in a project would show up here, and that can be somebody talking to you at a task level, at a discussion level, wherever it might be. And then for somebody that's managing this full process, you can kind of get like a quick overview of where my workload is falling, where are people blocked, and what's overdue. So we always want to be getting out content, and we want to get out content on time. So I could quickly come here and look at what's overdue. I can see maybe that Miriam's waiting for a review here. I can pop into here and I can talk to Miriam. I can have a back and forth with her as well. So it's really easy to kind of manage a full project from up at this overview level. Now, if I dive into tasks, here's just one example of how you can organize your SEO process within Slingshot. So within lists on the left-hand side, which are basically just buckets to categorize your tasks into, so you're not working with a huge list of endless tasks. You can see that I broke out blogs, websites, and link building, which maybe those are 3 of your core things that you're working on within your SEO team. So within blogs, I can see what's on the backlog, and brief, draft, review, what's in creative, waiting publishing, and what's been completed. I can also flip this into a Kanban view, so I can easily kind of see where my content is lining up, what's high priority, medium, and low. So I can really capture here, okay, so what really needs to be reviewed first, second, and last. As well as a Kanban view, if I pop over to my website list, you can see here an example of timeline where we're looking to publish a new solution page. So we need to get the briefs done, the drafts done, it's in review. And now design can't start until the review has been completed on the copy. So you can see how all of the website stuff is lining up as well for you for the year and your different projects that you have going on. I'm going to skip the discussion tab for right now. I'm going to pop over to pins, and your SEO is tasks, it's content, it's creative, it's you need everything handy when you need it. So within your pins, you can have a list here of different links that are just best practices for your team and research maybe that you're doing or trends that you're finding, whether it's including numbers in your blog titles or that grab more attention or whatever it might be. You can always keep up-to-date research here for your team to always have access to. As well as that, when you have your top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content, you can organize it in here within your pins so that you have the piece that you published, the copy that you wrote for it, and the creative that is within that blog. So if somebody needs to go now repurpose this blog or edit this or whatever it might be, you can come in here. I can quickly, all right, I got to go to whether you're grouping this as top of funnel, or you're grouping it by persona, or you're grouping it by content type, somebody can quickly come in here and find that piece of content that they need to go edit and have access to. And that's where the file repository and shared access really, for the best practice that Jason mentioned, comes into play. All of these pieces of content here are pinned right from your different cloud storage providers. So you can connect right to Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, Box, and SharePoint, whatever you and your team are using as your shared provider, and pin your content here so that everybody always has access in an organized manner. And then moving over to dashboards here, analyze, analyze, analyze. No project process, whatever it is complete without analyzing your metrics. So if I come into this dashboard here, what we have is a full BI engine built inside of Slingshot. So this is real-time analytics. It is fake sample data, so it's not that pretty, but pulled directly from Google Search Console and Google Analytics. So I am able in one view, one dashboard, to see the clicks I'm getting on organic searches, what the click-through rate is, alongside of my sessions and my bounce rates down to my conversions that I'm getting. So you're able to track a full customer journey for your organic traffic in one view. So if I come up here and I edit this dashboard and I want to maybe add another visualization, I can come up here and you can see that I'm already connected to Google Search Console and Google Analytics. In addition, I can come add a data source that maybe I'm using Salesforce to collect leads. I can bring my leads now into this dashboard, filter it down by the leads that we've gotten from organic. Did they convert? Are they sales qualified? Are they unqualified? What kind of status are they in? So you can really track from your click to your page view to the lead to a new opportunity. And you can see all the other data sources too that we provide. So you have Facebook, LinkedIn, Marketo, HubSpot, a ton of different data sources here. And two, we're on a 4 to 8 week release period where we try to release 1 to 2 new data sources as well every month. So I think next we have Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Twitter, and then we'll be working on like a YouTube analytics as well. So say I wanted to add another visualization here. I'll go into Google Analytics. I will select my view within my property, and I'm brought into the visualization editor here. Say I wanted to look at my segment for organic traffic, and I want to see by month the number of sessions. And I want to see that broken down by device. And this is staging, so I'm pretty sure it's might all say desktop. Okay, we got some mobile in there. Cool. All right, so now I'm able to change this to be organic sessions by device. I can come here, you can see that I use some pretty blues in my dashboard. So I'm going to change my color to match the rest of that. I'm going to change my date range to also match my dashboard and be the last 365 days. So this will constantly be updating for that date range. I'm going to hit the check up here. And then at the bottom here, you can see my visualization was added. I'll save this. And now here I am looking at my insights, my data. You can see, of course, this fake data here, conversions are tanking. So you saw in Slingshot, you have your tasks, your content, your collaborative features. So the awesome thing about it is now those different tabs all work seamlessly together. So I can go from looking at this insight, going to start a discussion with my SEO team around low conversions. I'm going to click create. The dashboard has now, a discussion's been created in my discussion tab. The dashboard is attached. I can actually come to annotate this as well. So if I wanted to take a specific screenshot, maybe of this, I could take this screenshot, and then maybe, because I kind of know what I'm going to say, I'm going to add another image, and I'm going to actually expand this and take a full screenshot of this. I'm going to annotate this one, and I'm going to add a little just rectangle here. Hit this check and click done. So now these two images have been added. And I know that Miriam, our org owner of Apex Homes, is helping run our SEO process here. So we're not converting enough organic traffic right now. It looks like we do have an opportunity to increase our rankings and impression share on Chart.js. So can we get a content plan in place for this? So Miriam will get a notification. She got it, looks like, in a matter of seconds. She is typing. She has access right to these images and right to this dashboard here. So she says, yes, she's going to work with the team and get back to me. So, okay, great. I'm actually going to then come here and I'm going to create a task for her. So I'm going to do a new list for content plan. I'm gonna click next, and I'm going to create content plan for Miriam. It brings in already now that message, it brings in the dashboard, the images, everything that Miriam now is going to need in order to complete this task. So I'm gonna give her a deadline. I'm gonna let her know she can start on this maybe after the long weekend here. So let's see, you come back on Tuesday, you get this done by the 9th. Click create. And just like that, I went from looking at my SEO data to collaborating with my team to acting on that collaboration and creating a task, all without switching my context, switching into a different app. And then you can see, yeah, the task was here, created, and Miriam's ready to rock and roll here. And that is basically how you can, I can't spell awesome, basically how you can create a seamless SEO management process within Slingshot. So I think, Jason, that was the main thing I wanted to demo. I did see a few questions pop up. I'm not sure if you were answering them or I need to show anything else.
There was some questions. What are the content types in pins?
Yes, so you could actually really pin anything. So you could come to this add pin. You can navigate directly through your cloud providers here. So if I added maybe our SharePoint or another instance of OneDrive, so you can pin Excel, Word, PowerPoint, PDFs, whatever, right from here. You can also pin a URL. So if I wanted to pin, this is always just the easiest one to type, espn.com. It'll auto-populate a title for me that I can change, and I can pin this web link. I can upload a local file, and I can pin a dashboard. Uploading a local file will take that file and it will put it in your default cloud provider into a folder that says Slingshot Uploads, so that it becomes now a shared piece of content. We do not want you to have to worry about version history and if you have the latest file or where it's saving and stuff like that. So we are trying as best we can to enforce sharing of putting files up in your cloud provider, basically.
Okay. This is more a comment. This is a project management tool with integrated data plus content. So,
yeah, it's your all-in-one digital workplace.
Here's another question. Is Excel a good solution for data in a dashboard or Google Sheets? Question mark.
Oh, yes. And I wish I had an Excel file handy, but yes.
So you could use the sample if you do a new dashboard. I think samples.
Yeah, I was actually so if I did have an Excel file here as well from the overflow, there's a ton of those productivity flows throughout the app where you could go right from a file to even a private chat in here. And it will attach the file like this. But with an Excel file, you can actually go from a pinned file right into creating a dashboard. But yes, so if I go to add a dashboard, we do have a sample set for you to kind of play around with and get your feet wet with creating dashboards. So you can kind of see how that works, how the sheets get pulled in, and just some fake data in here to kind of play around with.
Okay. Yeah, it's super easy. I think we have some videos online on YouTube around creating dashboards, and we've done webinars on that. So it is really intuitive and easy to do that.
Yep.
And then another comment, my manager has sticky notes all over his monitor and Google Sheets everywhere with data. This looks like it could help us. So yes.
It sounds just like my manager's problem 3 years ago before Slingshot.
Yeah, before Slingshot. And that's the thing. This really does help you organize all that and just make sure everything is in tasks, in projects. And then all of a sudden you're collaborating with your team and you can really avoid some of that. So that was all the questions that we had, which was pretty nice. So let me go ahead and just wrap this up. I'll share my screen again. Let's get to our PowerPoint. Our screen, share. There we go. Do you see demo?
Yep.
All right, cool. Okay, so that's it. Get started today. I pasted the link also in the chat to everyone. So please go to slingshotapp.io and you will be able to log in, start a trial. We have all the sample data, sample dashboards in there. There's one more question. Do you also have a tutorial? Will you be sharing this on your YouTube channel? So in YouTube now, yes, we have tutorials, lots of tutorials on YouTube. And this webinar, we will send you the link in an email later today or tomorrow so you can share it with your team. So go to the Slingshot YouTube channel. So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Casey for a great demo, and we will see you at the next Slingshot webinar next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you.